Kyle Shanahan shows up at the NFC coaches breakfast. He says he sees a scenario where Jimmy Garoppolo is on the roster in 2022, but acknowledges the shoulder surgery delayed trade talks, as if both Lance and Jimmy G are on the roster. Shanahan declines to name a starter. Oh, God, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. And you know what, Chris? I'm starting to think that Kyle Shanahan doesn't believe in Trey Lance. I'm starting to think that Kyle Shanahan is thinking, I should have listened to myself. I should have told whoever convinced me to pivot from Mac Jones to Trey Lance to sit down and shut the F up and let me decide who the quarterback's going to be. I don't believe in Trey Lance. At some point, that's a fair conclusion to make. I'm not saying I made it yet.
No.
At some point, that's a fair conclusion to make. If he continues to cling to Jimmy G, because it could be that he's secretly happy that the shoulder surgery blew up the trade because he's thinking, I don't know about Trey Lance. I mean, at some point, I need to hear a full-throated Trey Lance is the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. This mealy mouth, I'm not going to name a starter. No, at some point, you got to tell me that Trey Lance is the starter, or I'm going to say, this guy doesn't believe in Trey Lance.
It's fair to ask that question, 100%. And it's the first thing that goes through anybody's mind, I think, that reads this and logically, or at least logically follows the NFL. You go, wait, the guy that we traded 3 first-round picks might sit on the bench for another year? There's no guarantee that he's going to be the starter going into year 2? 100% it's going to make people question. It's going to make people on his own team question and go, oh, man, maybe coach doesn't think he's ready. Wow. I mean, there's definitely, that's, some of the things we talked about earlier. That's what they're in danger of, doing here. Splitting the locker room, confusing the locker room, not giving total belief into Trey Lance. At least that's, to me, what they're, in danger of doing here. And it just seems, again, a little bit like they kind of want it both ways here. It will. I don't believe this. I don't. Again, I think this is, if you had to ask me and evaluating the situation from, 10,000 feet above here, I think this is a lot of talk just to keep Jimmy Garoppolo's trade value up there. But to me, it seems like organizational suicide to keep a backup quarterback that's going to make $25 million, has taken you to 2 NFC championships in the last 3 years, and have him hovering behind the guy you just traded 3 first-round picks for. That, to me, is really, really dicey, and I don't think a good situation for them.
And if this is just a game to get something for Jimmy G, they have to realize that everyone else isn't stupid. They understand what the game is. And I hope that privately, Kyle Shanahan is saying to Trey Lance, this is all just for show. Jimmy G is not going to be here. You're going to be here. So you get ready. He's not going to be the quarterback. The rest of this stuff, we're just trying to get somebody to trade for him. But at some point, you just have to give it up. Is it really worth an extra 4th-round pick, conditional 5th, whatever you're going to get for Jimmy? Is it really worth it to complicate your effort to turn Trey Lance to another Steve Young or Joe Montana? Is it really worth it? Because I think it is complicating their effort to get the most out of Trey Lance. Clinging to Jimmy G, whether it's because Kyle isn't sure about Trey Lance or it's because they're playing this game to get trade value for Jimmy G. He did say, Kyle did, that he was asked if the natural progression is for Trey Lance to start this year. Kyle said that's why we looked into trading Jimmy. But Kyle also said that they haven't made a decision on what it'll look like if both are on the roster. So yeah, look, I think that, I'm sorry, they've done well the past few years, but these are the hallmarks of a dysfunctional organization. That's what dysfunction looks like. You've got some people pushing for one agenda. You've got others thinking we should do something else. And then you're just making this mishmash of crap on the fly based upon circumstances and a broader desire to not look like you're without a clue, without a plan, and that you have some cohesive strategy when they just don't.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say dysfunctional organization because the organization's too good to say that, right? At least in my opinion. But when it comes to this quarterback situation, things have been a little dysfunctional there for sure. I mean, the quarterback situation has been dysfunctional and continues to be weird as we sit here late March. This is, second year in a row, really. So that's where it is. It's hovering over an organization that's got everything in place, like we've talked about. Unbelievable roster, a team that can win the Super Bowl, but this quarterback issue has been a thing that is handicapped this team to a degree. And as we've always talked about, it just seems like ever since the Vikings divisional playoff game, when we were sitting there on the sidelines, from that point on, and then, of course, the loss of the Super Bowl, there's been a effort to, in San Francisco, overthrow Jimmy G. We can do better. He's holding us back. And that's where they are. And those are the signals they sent out to the whole NFL. And now they get another quarterback, and they're trying to act like he was, he's better than what you thought or what you heard through our organization, through the grapevine all these last few years. He's better. And that's where it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, let alone you couple in the Trey Lance trade conversation, what they traded to get to him. Was it Mac Jones calling Rodgers the night before? We heard they were in on Deshaun Watson and Matthew Stafford before that. The situation at quarterback in San Francisco has been weird for quite a few years now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.